Welcome to Feed the Beast. We are talking today about the final pages of making your comic. So let's get to it. You're going to find out a little bit more about how to complete everything out. And I think you're going to enjoy this one.
How do you fill in this blank page? Join your hosts, Ted and John, in the quest to create conflicts, characters, storylines, all that is needed to feed the beast.
Hello, fellow creatives. My name's Ted Davies. I am an artist and author, best known for Retrieve and Grim 101. And who's the guy next to me here?
I'm John Celestri. I'm a almost 50-year veteran of animation and comic books, best known for animating the original appearance of Boba Fett in the Star Wars Holiday Special, working on Dragon's Lair, Space Ace, He-Man, She-Ra, Rock and Rule, and a whole bunch of other things. And I have my own line of comic books. So there you go. There you go.
The legend himself. And yeah, my childhood right there, guys. There you go. That's it. All the different. Thank you for creating what you've done. And thank you for doing this podcast with me. It's been an absolute pleasure. So today we're talking about the final couple pages of how to make your comic. And that's, this has been a great series. We're going to be continuing on with another part of our series soon, but we'll talk about that at the end of the show. So stick around. And if you could like and share this out, that would be awesome too. If you're finding this on recording, we appreciate it. And please leave a comment or tell us what you're up to. We would love to hear about your comic books. And let's get to it here. All right. So what we got here, John?
Okay, we're going to get started. This was page 7, and you go back to the other episodes on this. Mm-hmm. But basically, I used my Post-it notes. And this is the Post-it notes for page 6 and 7 of the Midnight Special. Mm-hmm. And so anyway, what here? I'll just go back here on this. This area here was an element of a Post-it note that was on another page. I decided, okay, I'm going to use it on this page 7. So I'm holding on to it. I'm adding all these various positions of a body in a barrel, blood spilling out, all kinds of elements, and I'm using Post-it notes number 7 and 8. They're the final story points, and in this particular case, somebody's head got chopped off, and we're now going to pull together these my drawings for these characters. And so let's get to this point here. This is what we have, and we're going to have here Midnight. Now, we in the previous pages, we'd shown, 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11:15, whatever. And now this character shouts midnight. And that's where time for the special treat is. And all these characters are up and around looking for, well, what's this all about? Well, we've got a samurai. We've got the bartender. He's got a samurai sword. And she says, time for a special treat. Okay, give me some of that midnight special coming right up. And that's what happens here with he chops his head off.
God, that's all. I mean, it's quite a visual there.
Yeah.
The whole action is.
And this is all of this is coming off of those, Post-it notes. Mm-hmm. As I said, and this is actually the first rough of it. Then to get to make it a little better, so you can see, this is the end, the actual
inks. Yeah.
Ink. Oh, well, yeah. These are the pencils and inks and cleanups of this, of what's happening here. And I added the just so that there's no confusion, in this particular case, I just allowed for the put some gray tone
Yeah.
so that you can see all this. Otherwise, if I didn't do that, it would be, it would be a little bit too confusing for our purpose.
Understanding. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, with this particular case, once again, it's framing. The guy has the Mark he's really didn't know what he was into and what was going to happen.
Right.
But we all set up for this, and so it's not unusual. You kind of say, okay, you poor guy, this is what happens when you go into a club that really has vampires in it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happens. So that's page 6. Now, a lot of times people say, okay, that's the end of it. They say, okay, this is the end. Okay, that was what what it was all about. Well,
Mm-hmm.
we don't. Page 7. We're going to now. Well, what happens? This is a tie-in with from opening from page 1. Well, here, what happens? Where do you get the blood? Well, you've got all kinds of things going on. Here's the rough of you've got blood spurting out of the major artery, the neck there, and you've got one guy, with a pail, says, okay, grab it, quick with the bucket. Got it. Careful, don't spill any of that red gold. He's got a canister, coming up, which hooks up to what we started off with.
Yeah.
And
the beginning. Yep.
And we've got your marking here for blood type B, so that everything is all there. And so what happens is we wind up with, this guy is carrying the bucket here filled with whatever he caught up. And then so one guy is shoving the body, making sure that the underwear is out. And they're just trying to, shove the body into the barrel, and once again, where it's just a matter of just doing it. It's a very matter of fact situation. It's
Mm-hmm.
very much like you would go it's a meat processing plant. It's the back of the butcher's shop. This is
raw, as raw as it gets. Yep.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
And it's meant to be that way because we're talking about the world that Michael, the Bloodwing Angel, is going into.
Mm-hmm.
These are the characters in the neighborhood that Michael will become part of. It's across the street from the religious gift shop,
Mm-hmm.
where all religions are you can get your sacramental vestments and things of that sort, but also sacrificial daggers, things
Mm-hmm.
of that nature. This is the world that we're in. So you have to show it, but I don't think I'm being gruesome about it. There is a very matter of fact. There is a cartoony caricature aspect to it without being,
what's normal to the spider is chaos to the fly. I mean, this is a very normal experience for them.
And here we go with the last page. The last panel is basically the tie-in, the payoff is that, okay, they're all going in, the last foot is there, he's shoving it in. And this guy with the cigar says, I could go for a Bloody Mary. Okay. And then the bartender is showing using his samurai sword and saying, pointing to the barrel with O, he says, we're getting low on O. And so one of the gangsters turns to Pixie, says, hey, Pixie, your turn to go sniffing. And she says, oh, goody, goody, and claps. And that's the end. This is the tie-in of not just to a repeat from the first page,
mm-hmm.
but also pays off for Pixie she says, hey, I want to have my turn. I want to be able to go do stuff. Well, then she gets her chance now.
Got it.
And so this is the rough page. And let's go for the cleanup. You can see all of the material here. Again, I'm trying to make characters, not just these are personalities, but without trying to be cliche
Sure.
about them. Moving the body across here, trying to get a feeling of grittiness
Hmm.
in this. And so, and then once again, there's an there's some personality in here, in this face, looking in here saying, oh, well, I got to do this. I get this
Yep.
going on. And let's start. Let's move on to the next victim. And that is basically the end of this story. So you've seen, from beginning to end, the thumbnails, the story beats, the thumbnails, the roughs, and the cleanup, and
All the way through. Yep.
all the
How
way.
long? How long did it take for the story to ferment and then get to the point? Pardon the pun. And get into the stage to the end.
Okay, well, I mean, my process is very, I worked on it for. I had it percolating in my mind, so you just let it perk for as long as it wants. But I
Sure.
started writing down the beats, and again, once again, it might be a day or two or what have you. But I'm
Mhm.
working on other things. I mean, this was not what I don't. When I'm writing a story, sometimes I'm only working on it for about an hour or so at the most.
Mhm.
But I'm writing, when I jot down the various ideas, I'm always slapping them on. I may not use them all, but I'll do on a post-it note, as I said in the beginning. They just, when it comes to me to an idea, I'll put that in. But in terms of actual, if you want to say time, it might be an hour, I mean, rather a day or two, to think about these various things. And then I like to then start, I'll jot down scenes, things of
Mhm.
that nature, maybe a little bit here or there. And but the actual physical drawing, for example, it may take me, a couple of hours to do, let's say, this here.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're talking about 15, 20 minutes on each panel, because I'm really working on it and thinking. You can see, they're not. I mean, I'm really working the pencils here. That's what happened. And so it could be, an hour to 2 hours to
Mhm.
do this. For these pencils here, it could be that could be 15 minutes, 15
Mhm.
minutes, 15 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour on. So it could be, a half a day of work, but that's actual hard
Yep.
drawing.
Pen to paper or pencil to paper. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
I can't do. I used to be able to do those things
Sure.
really. I could keep on going, but I can't. So, figure. So between this stage and that stage, you're talking a full day.
Okay. And the reason why I ask is 'cause I want people to understand that it's up to them.
Hmm.
It's their time. So
Yes. Yep.
feel free to do it. But execution and completion is a very important thing. But make sure that you get comfortable with your time. It even takes John a while. So don't, and me for that matter. My process is very similar to yours. So I think because we're visual artists. So
Yeah.
that's what I think it
Yeah.
works out.
Yeah. So actually, I would say a good 6 hours on a
Mhm.
page
Mhm.
between the rough and the pencil. Now, see, I clean up in pencil.
Okay.
So a lot of times, if you're doing inks,
Hmm.
You know, you're going from, if you're very confident of yourself and you start with this and you go directly to inks, God bless you.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I go to that. But once again, there's a lot of redraw. I'm molding, you know,
Yeah.
and then cleaning up with a pencil on that because the blues won't show up when I scan it and they do the high contrast. So that is basically how I is my version of a clean of an inked line,
Hmm.
which is more like a pen versus a brush line.
Yes.
So you can I will my personal feeling is that drawing directly on a tablet with a digital pencil,
Hmm.
for the most part, even if you try, to me, you're not going to have. I don't see the same control, and sometimes you actually see a similarity in the type of lines from one artist to another because the computer is making calculations, you know, with
Yep.
your line. So I mean that's your way of design. It's your creative choices. These are my creative choices, and so to get my grittiness, I have to have accidents and, you know, a feeling of texture on
Sure.
paper.
Eraser marks. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm
Yeah.
with you. Yeah. And choose your tools, whatever you're comfortable with. And, this is definitely, this is the traditional way that I've learned as well. And I think for me, it's more comfortable.
Yeah.
Even though we do scan and digitize things.
Yes. Yeah.
But,
Absolutely.
well, that's awesome. That's awesome. What, now is this is going to be this is the next campaign, or
No,
what
well,
is this?
this was in the previous campaign.
Yes.
This was
Okay.
in for book 2.
Yes.
This was
Okay.
you know, in that. So that's been out for
Is
a
is this going
year.
to be offered? Is this going to be offered in any of the campaigns you're going to be doing in the
Oh yeah,
future?
I in this 12-page booklet which explains everything is going to
Mhm.
be as one of the perks, you know, add-ons for book 3, which I'm
Excellent.
launching on September 10th. And
Excellent.
it'll be available I'm doing 2 campaigns simultaneously.
Mhm.
It's book 3, but on both Indiegogo and Kickstarter, so that whatever way you want it,
Yep.
whatever platform you support, it'll be available.
Excellent. Excellent. Let's go. We'll put once we have all the information, we'll put it in the description.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to. I'm glad that you're putting it on there. That's why I asked, because I want to make sure that people can
Yes.
get this and
Mhm.
and be more involved with your work,
Yeah.
even if it has already been produced and it's still going to be released.
Right. Yes, it is.
So what we're going to be doing then, we're taking a little bit of a hiatus. We're
Mhm.
going to take about 3 or 4 weeks. We've got a few things happening, weddings and vacations and all, end of the year, Labor Day is coming up, and
Mhm.
we got a lot of things happening. So, but we're going to be coming back with a new episode series about character building and a few other things that we're going to be doing.
Mhm.
So along these lines, in a comic book or a prose fashion. So, and it's been an absolute pleasure, man. I'm glad that we did this, the 9-week session, or nine, we shouldn't say 9 weeks, but 9 episode sessions.
Yeah.
It's been great. It's been really a pleasure. So, and I appreciate you doing this and allowing everybody to see your expertise, my friend. That's
Well, thank you
awesome.
very much. I'm glad that we're able to do this. I think, you know, it's something that I wanted to get onto video,
Mhm.
and that way, it's an explanation. It's just it's another informational resource for people to understand what ways they can use it.
Yeah.
You
And
know.
it's digestible. If they, because everybody's busy right now, you can pause it, you can come back to it, you can rewatch it. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the power of this. And this is,
Right.
it's going to be here for a long, long time. And
Yeah.
that's the whole idea. It's going to inspire a lot of people. I'm hoping, and I'm sure it will. So it's good seeing you, my friend.
Good seeing
Um,
you.
have a good day. Everyone else, thank you for stopping in and
Take care.
feeding the beast with us.
Yep.
We will talk to you. We'll see you in a few weeks. And any questions or comments or anything you might want to see coming up in the next episodes, let us know. And
Okay.
we will talk to you then. See ya.
Take care. Bye-bye.
How do you fill in this blank page? Join your hosts, Ted and John, in the quest to create conflicts, characters, storylines, all that is needed to feed the beast.